The Joe Rogan Experience.
The last time I saw you, I don't think the Pentagon had come out, because it was actually during the pandemic where the Pentagon came out. I don't think we talked about this last time, did we?
I don't think so.
Where they said they've recovered alien crafts. They said we have recovered crafts that are not from this world.
Is that exactly what they said?
Pull it up, young
Pull
Jay.
that up. That exact quote from
It's a sketchy.
the Pentagon.
It's
The
it's
Pentagon
actually
didn't say it, yeah.
that was the guy from Vegas, the guy from Nevada. What is his name? Is he a senator from Nevada?
Harry
Reid.
Harry Reid,
Someone that
Yeah.
former senator.
Pentagon former contractor was the one that said it.
Oh, you're thinking of you're thinking of he's got an aerospace business out there that was funded in part by taxpayer money. That it was a sort of a pet project of Harry Reid's in a sense. I'm struggling to remember the guy's name. I should remember it because we've talked about it.
Lear?
No. Aerospace buddy of Harry Reid's. Can we Google
Is that the Skinwalker Ranch guy?
No. This is this guy is. They've actually still got a business. He's still developing right now. I think what he's trying to do is develop portable living.
Yeah, that is a Skinwalker Ranch guy.
That is right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
That is the guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
The name's on the tip of my tongue.
I know. But if he's the one who said it, then it doesn't come from the government. The ATIP, which is that Advanced Aeronautical Threat Identification Program.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the most interesting thing that the government has come out and said is that yes, we did have an operation within the Pentagon, an office within the Pentagon. I've taught that was there to identify unidentified threats, right? So we get something up in the air and we can't identify it. It's like the Tic Tac sightings by David Fravor. Yeah. And those guys. So
David Fravor, for anybody who's interested in this, please listen to him on the Lex Friedman podcast, because I had him on, but I had him on with Jeremy Corbell, who's the documentarian behind that Bob Lazar movie, and by himself, Fravor and Lex, they get deep into the technical specifications of their aircraft and why he believes that no known aircraft could have ever operated the way it is, and also how it was blocking their tracking devices, which is technically it's an act of war, but also it showed that it was aware of them.
Yeah, he's very credible. I mean,
Yes.
he's extremely credible. He's a good guy. I've talked to him a handful of times. I've sat and reviewed the gun camera footage with him as he's walked through it. Very credible, right? So that was a perfect example of why they had set up ATIP, right, within the Pentagon. Apparently not funded anymore as an operating office.
Because they probably got some new shit that they can't tell you about,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
that one got out there.
Got to close it down.
That's in the New York Times
that's
already.
What you do.
That is what they do, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, or you reallocate the. It's all in the budgets, which is again kind of why we do this show for Science Channel called Black Files, because we're chasing the budgets.
We finally got to that.
I know, right?
Jesus
right?
Christ.
I know.
We're
I got
2 hours
like,
in.
I got like 2 other promos to do. I haven't even touched yet. So fucking hell, people are thinking, wow, he's really slow this time. But yeah, if you follow the money, it's like an investigation, right? If not so much follow the money, but if you start pulling on those threads around budgets, or it's like with investigation and asset tracing, getting bank records is absolutely key if you can, legally get them during the course of an investigation. But with military operations, oftentimes those budgets for the most interesting projects and operational elements get buried into something else. Right? That's just the way it works, right? And so that's where you can
maintain secrecy.
To maintain secrecy, but that's it's so it's an exercise, and we don't obviously with Black Files we don't identify anything that's currently classified because we'd all end up in the who's gal, but we're looking at some pretty interesting things, and it speaks to where programs are going currently, right? You look at some things in the recent past and you say, okay, this is where this new development is heading.
And isn't it? It's an interesting conversation too, because for people that don't like secrecy and they don't think we should have secrecy, for national security and for the development of things, like the stealth bomb or like a lot of other things that show that we have military superiority over our enemies, it's important to have secrecy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can't function as a secure and safe and lasting republic without it, right? There's just no way. Now, people will say, "Oh, we should have transparency around everything." No, you got to draw the line. You got to you want to not overdo it, right? So you want to.
That's where I was going to get to.
Right, but
the overdo it part.
But you've got to have the ability to protect sources and methods. You've got to have a sort of a need to know policy around certain things, right, within national security concerns and the intelligence community. But yeah, again, it can be used as a weapon. You can overdo it.
But if you don't have security, you don't have the Manhattan Project.
Right. No, absolutely. Yeah. We don't. I mean,
you don't have many things. That
you think about
keep us safe.
You think about. China. Look at this. Now I'm deep into the show, and I'm just now bashing China for their theft of economic intelligence. But you look at the effort that they make in terms of stealing our intellectual property and research and development. Right? I mean, the idea that you don't protect your most critical information, whether it's operationally important or whether it's just, again, R&D for development of materials, and that speaks to the strength of your economy and so yes, certain things have to be kept secret. But again, you can overclassify things, which tends to happen, right? You tend to just because you're trying to protect everything, right? So I'm just going to overclassify, and that also creates a problem then. So, trying to strike a balance, it's a human endeavor, so you never really get it right, I don't think. But
well, this is where people feel like the line when it comes to alien spacecrafts, and if the government knows and is aware of alien spacecrafts and alien technology, this is where the line of secrecy and being sworn to oath, where it crosses over into a need to know for the general public. Mm. Bob Lazar's story, the story about him working for S4, he was a physicist for Los Alamos Labs. That's been proven. He was on the employee list there. He also was listed in a newspaper article when he put a jet engine in a Honda. That he was a physicist at Los Alamos Labs, and he was a propulsion expert. Says he worked for Area S4, and says he was hired to back engineer UFOs, and says they never could figure out how these things worked, and that they were never going to because they really couldn't, because they were trying to keep everything secret. They couldn't share all this information with the general scientific community. And he's like, science doesn't work in these containment bubbles. You can't compartmentalize science and have only a few small propulsion experts sit around and try to figure this thing out, and then they fire them, bring new guys in, and no one ever gets it.
Right, which is what you can use against. I mean, if I'm trying to pull information out of another nation, right? If I'm targeting intelligence from, they're developing some new ballistic missile system or whatever it is, propulsion system, then yes, I'm gonna play off of that desire on the part of engineers and scientists to have a collaborative community, right? And the Chinese do that very well, right? And particularly when they target Chinese Americans working here in the U.S. in potentially sensitive positions. This idea that we're all working together, and this is just what we should be doing. We've done. My company has done work trying to protect information for companies, pharmaceutical companies, is a good example, where the scientists, the engineers, the doctors need that free flow in their mind. They got to have this free flow and this collaborating and this sharing of information. And meanwhile, you got the other side, where the bean counters and security personnel and all that, and they're going like, no, this is the lifeblood of our company. We can't risk losing this information, so we got to lock it down to the degree we can. Those two things don't necessarily coexist all that well together, but you got to try to find some medium. So, I think, there's the fact that the government came out and talked about ATIP. I thought it was a big step, right? That's a big deal for them, right? I mean, that they would discuss that. Do I think that they're hiding? Again, I don't take anything. I wouldn't take anything off the table, right? Frankly, because I don't know, right? So it would be stupid of me to say no. They definitely aren't holding on to some propulsion system that isn't of this world or whatever. If I don't know it, I can't say absolutely not. But
Wouldn't you want to know though?
Oh, sure, yeah. But how? I mean, what do you do? I mean,
Grease a few palms.
is that it? Yeah.
Get in there.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah. I guess you could do that.
I'd let the government know right now. Listen.
Yeah.
I'll say a lot of shit that's not true. Just get me to the UFOs. Show me the UFOs, and I'll lie.
Oh gosh, yeah. No, we're doing. It is.
It's not true.
Yeah, it's.
I'm lying. I'm telling you right now. Don't tell me.
No.
I'm lying.
Yeah.
Because if you tell me, I'm telling everybody.
He's telling everybody. Yeah, they
that's
know.
a lie.
Look, they know that.
I'm sure they know that.
They know that. They're writing it down right now. Whatever happens. But
It's too bad. Episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience are now free on Spotify. That's right. They're free. From September 1st to December 1st, they're going to be available everywhere. But after December 1st, they will only be available on Spotify, but they will be free. That includes the video. The video will also be there. It'll also be free. That's all we're asking. Just go download Spotify. Much love. Bye-bye.